If you think chickens belong on farms, think again. There's a whole culture in this country of raising chickens in backyards, and that trend has only grown during the pandemic. Many big cities are okay with that, but not Philadelphia. That's where our next guest is from. She tells us about her battle for her birds and what it's like to raise urban chickens. So we're joined now by Maureen Breen, the president of Philadelphia Backyard Chickens Facebook group and a professor of accounting at Drexel University. Maureen, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So I'm going to have to do it. You've run afoul of Philadelphia's animal control ordinance that doesn't allow the raising of backyard chickens, and you're fighting to get that changed, and we'll talk about that. But could you just start by describing for us what your chicken outfit looks like?
Sure. So in my backyard, as you can see, I have a coop, which is the wood box where my chickens live and they spend their evenings. Attached to that is a dog run with chain link fence around it. It has protective netting on the wire on the top and on the bottom, so it's very secure for my chickens. They're very safe in my backyard. It's a few steps from my back door.
And how many do you have?
At this time, I have 4 chickens. I just lost one recently.
So you've run afoul of Philadelphia's law. Can you explain, or ordinance? Can you explain what that ordinance is and what your status is right now?
Well, at this time, it's illegal to have a chicken in the city of Philadelphia unless you own 3 acres, which is really not feasible for most people. You're a place used for education or for research. So I don't consider myself a foul, as I do conduct research in the value of backyard chickens eating food scraps and keeping them out of our landfills. But for most folks in Philadelphia, the chickens that they keep are illegal. And when I was first keeping chickens, I was not working in this research area. So that's when I started to become active and thinking we really need to change this. Most other large cities do allow backyard chickens, and I think it's time for Philadelphia to catch up.
Most places don't allow roosters, but they allow chickens. Is that the distinction?
That's the distinction. Well, both roosters and hens are chickens. The males are roosters, right, and the females are hens. And I like roosters. They're really beautiful. But appropriately, most cities do not allow those loud, beautiful boys in backyards.
Makes sense. Mm-hmm. But there are quite a few people who have backyard chickens in Philadelphia, and they don't have any citations against them. So what happened to you?
I was reported by a neighbor. Occasionally, folks are reported by neighbors. What we have found is that most reports are if there's a rooster, if there's an extremely large flock, or if the neighbors just don't get along with each other. So, unfortunately, I had a neighbor who wasn't too fond of some folks in the neighborhood, and they weaponized the chickens and reported my chickens to the city.